Good afternoon, everybody. It is RJ. It is Sunday, so it is time for the Sunday Trivia Recap. Alrighty then, let's get right to it. We're all here for trivia and prizes. We can do the small talk as the wheel is spinning, all right? So this week was all about my 1950s TCMA Stars of the 50s set again. It was all about this week was former MVPs who were not in the Hall of Fame. So every card I'm going to show you, all I did was show the card, said who is this person, because there's no indication on the card other than the team uniform as to who this particular player is. So I said, who is it? Told you it was a former MVP, and they're pictured in the uniform of the team for whom they won that MVP. So on Monday, I showed off this card. I said, who is this guy? Pretty much everybody knew that this is Mr. Bobby Shantz of the Philadelphia Athletics. Now, this is one of Ray from Philly's favorite players because, turn the card over here, Bobby Shantz was born in Pottstown, PA. He's about to turn 100 if he makes it towards the end of the year. Congrats to Bobby, but he still lives in the area, and he is an active signer to this day. He still appears at local card shops, LCSs and whatnot, and he's still an active signer. I know Ray from Philly, every time Bobby appears at any card place down in Philly, Ray from Philly is there to get an in-person autograph, and Ray has quite a collection of Bobby Shantz cards autographed. So a shout out to Ray from Philly. But Bobby Shantz was your answer. What you're playing for, what I was giving away every day were 5 cards from the 1987 High Grade set. It's called 1987 High Grade. I guess that's the company that printed or produced them. They are very inexpensive cards. You can get the entire pack of 50 cards to this day for $5 or so. So they're very inexpensive. Interestingly, the high grade set, well, it comes in a pack of 50 and says this is the whole set. They produced print runs of those cards for several years after 1987. So there are multiple print runs with different images in some cases and different players. So there is, while the set is sold in a pack of 50, there are much more than 50 cards in the full set, and there are image variations of many of them. What you're playing for on this day is Luke Appling, Joe Cronin, Lefty Grove, a fantastic Christy Mathewson. Notice that he has just the Y from the NY on the logo. They did a bad job of getting that one right. And then Bill Terry. So some awesome cards of Hall of Famers for you to acquire if you were lucky, if you were kind enough. Well, all you had to do was throw out a guess. So let's see what we got here, okay? The individuals up here on the screen were kind enough to throw out a guess. Lisa Z remains up here on my channel for the entire calendar year. Lisa Z passed very early this year. She was a big supporter of mine on my trivia questions, always threw out a guess, always participated, won several times. And she was a big supporter of everybody in the card community. My way of honoring her passing is to simply leave her name on the list every day. Her box is not checked, so her name does not appear on the wheel, but at least it's up there. So we will shuffle once and spin. You must hit 3 times on my channel to win. I do that for 2 reasons. One is because so few people enter, and I can. The second reason is I always dislike it when I enter a contest and they spin once and that was it. The winner gets it. The issue there, though, is that you have to. When you have that many people entering a contest, you can't go like multiple times and say, okay, we're going to spin this wheel and someone's got to hit 10 times. It would take too stinking long. But when there's only 10 people on the list, I have that ability and I choose to. So good luck to everybody on this one. Boom. I have been following the guys up in Cleveland, up near Cleveland at the Strongsville show. I have never been to the Strongsville show. I don't know that I will ever go to the Strongsville show. While I do collect specific vintage cards, my center of my focus is not vintage. I don't have that kind of money. I don't have that kind of resources. I don't have a desire to have player runs of all these different players. I mean, in a way, I guess you could say it's an investment, but it's never been something I've been focusing on, if you know my channel. But, you know, shout out to the guys up in Strongsville. I've been watching a lot of their video content, and I know they're having a blast up there. I'm very much looking forward to this coming week when they all return, and every one of them starts posting their videos of what they did up in the Strongsville area. That was 3 quick ones for Brock's boys. So Joe out there in the West Coast these days, congrats to you, sir. Former Jersey local guy. You'll get these 5 awesome Hall of Fame cards. Congrats to you, sir. Moving on to Wednesday. I do want to get one shout out to. Was there a shout out on? I think it was a shout out on. I don't think there was a shout out on. Nope. Everybody on this day was pretty much a regular. Wednesday. Wednesday's question was, who is this former MVP but not non-Hall of Famer? Former Cardinals great. The answer is Marty Marion. I apologize, I can't remember when he had his breakout season. I'm wondering if it wasn't 42 when it says it was his best season. Marty Marion won the MVP award once for the Cardinals and is not a Hall of Famer. Pretty much everybody knew that one. What you're playing for, another 5 cards from the high gray set, but great cards in this one as well. Grover Cleveland Alexander, awesome Phillies pitcher, Sam Crawford, Hank Greenberg, and here is your Mickey Mantle card, along with Duke Snider. So those are the 5 cards you're up for grabs here. The individuals here on the screen were kind enough to throw out a guess. 2 shout outs on this one, newbies who don't often enter my contest. Cash and Dad's Packbusters. So Cash and Dad have entered my contest a couple times. They're great guys out west. Check them out. Welcome back, guys. I know they've done it a couple times. And then Boston Fan is a new person. First time Mr. Boston Fan has entered my contest. Thanks for coming by. Careful if you're going to search for his channel. A lot of Boston fans out there channels, so careful on finding the right guy who's a card collector, okay? Again, the individuals here on the screen were kind enough to throw out a guess. Joe, Brock's Boys is out. You can only win once a week on my channel. We will shuffle once and spin. Good luck to everybody on this one. So, like I said, looking forward to what the guys up in Strongsville have to show us this weekend, as well as, you know, what might they show in the upcoming weeks about their experience out there. Again, Strongsville looks like a great show. I think more than anything, sometimes these days, we guys in the card community go to these shows more than anything, I think, as a social event. In other words, it's a big gathering of our friends. It's almost like a family reunion in an odd way. I think, you know, there's certainly, you're going there to pick up some cards, but let's be honest, you can pick up the stupid cards anywhere, can't we? It's the ability to get together with like-minded individuals. I think that's 3 for Hunter Boucher. Hunter Boucher, it is. Hunter, congrats to you, sir. You're going to be getting that awesome Mickey Mantle card, along with all these other Hall of Fame greats, so congrats to you. Moving on to Friday. Friday's question, and again, just sticking with the theme of who is this person. So who is this former MVP but non-Hall of Famer? Everybody knew this was Jim Constanti, Philadelphia Phillies pitcher, during the 1950 season and other times, but in 1950 he had a stellar season, appeared in 74 games, went 16-7. I don't know if he started any games, but he had a great record of 16-7 and saved league-leading 72. He was primarily a relief pitcher, and he started Game 1 of the World Series, so he's actually the first relief pitcher ever to win a league MVP award. Little trivia question for you there, too, but that was the answer. The cards you're playing for on this one, another great group of awesome Hall of Famers: Ernie Banks, Bill Dickey, Gabby Hartnett, great Willie Mays card, and then Pie Traynor. So fantastic cards up for grabs here. Again, the individuals up on the screen were kind enough to throw out a guess. There's the guy's back. Who missed? Joe, you're out. And Hunter, you are out, because you can only win once a week on my channel. So everybody else here on the screen is up for grabs. We will shuffle once and spin. Good luck to everybody on this last one. Go. So this coming week, what I am taking time to show off, and I was trying to figure out what to show, and I thought to myself, well, let's show a oddball sets, or lesser known sets, and let's do it from an entire decade. So rather than showing off a Topps set or a Donruss or a Fleer or something like that, rather than showing off one of the more well-known sets. Pause right here when I think it's pause and recognize some people who are back who aren't typical, and that would be Adam's Card Closet. Adam comes in here and there. Great member of the card community, so welcome back, Adam. Sometimes I think he goes after just the cards he wants. Maybe he wants that Willie Mays card. Don't know. But anyway, spin again. But yeah, I showing off lesser known sets. I mean, they're not unknown. Everybody knows them, but not everybody concentrates or has them per se. So 3 great sets, because RJ does collect sets. So 3 great sets from the decade of the 1970s is what I'll be showing off this coming week. That was my first experience in card collecting, was the decade of the 70s. So a lot of great cards came out in the 70s, a lot of fantastic oddball sets as well. Some of them I've already shown off before, that's why I didn't include them. I should say some of them, almost all of them I showed off before, but some of them I showed off recently. And I didn't want to constantly show the same thing on my channel, but some of them are just fantastic set images, and I'm always happy to show them off. I think I've shown off every one of them. Oh, that is 3. Hey, welcome back, Adam. Congrats to you, sir. I know I have your contact info. I'll be sending you these 5 awesome cards. Maybe I'll throw in a chipper for you as well. Who knows? So congrats to you, sir. So anyway, decade of the 70s coming up in my videos this week. Hope you enjoy. Hope you enjoyed that as well. Appreciate everybody who participates in my trivia contest. Heck, I appreciate everybody who chooses to watch my videos. You are few, if you are anybody. So it's a great stuff. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy people find it interesting enough to watch. So thank you very much for watching. We will have fantastic trivia and prizes to give away next week as well. In fact, every trivia question has to do with the 70s, and every card that is going to be given away is literally a card from the decade of the 70s. So come back again next week for fantastic trivia and prizes, all right? Hope you have a great week coming up. Hope to see you soon. Take care.